Okay, I'm Leonard Byrne. I served in World War II in the Navy, served in the South Pacific. But it's a hard act to follow with these combat veterans because I was not in combat. Though I served in a combat zone. It was a good life out there. I served as an assistant fire chief. But before that, I went to boot camp in New York State, up to Samson. First day out, they lined us up in the gym, naked. Then they asked who could not swim, and I stepped forward with a bunch of others. Then they asked who was afraid of water. So I was the only guy out there afraid of water. So I was alone in a crowd. But after that, things got better. I kept going off the board and everything else, and they dragged me out. To this day, I still can't swim. So we went overseas. We have GQ going over on the Matsonia. It was a troop ship. And a couple of my buddies would come and make sure I had a life jacket on. I didn't care. If the ship went down, I wanted to get it over with. So I landed on a receiving ship. And I come under my rating was a fireman since I went to machinist school. And come up to a receiving ship, there's a boatswain in charge. He didn't want no snipes under him. So he sent me off to a fire department on Guadalacanal, which was a good break for me in a way. We had good living. We had our own quarters, private shower, and the bakers and the cooks would come down and use our shower. So they paid for that. A lot of good food and hot loaf of bread every day. And a man in the ice house, he used to come over. So we got it to him. He made ice cream for us. It was a real racket. We had a few fires, like ammunition dumps, go out on that. And being a young kid, didn't know what I was doing. I drove right over Bangalore torpedoes, but I straddled them, fortunately. How dumb can you get? But it wasn't too bad. This next time I went out to an ammunition dump, I took a Jeep and just carried food and fed the firefighters that knew what they were doing. And after that, we had a ship on fire about 20 miles up the island. I had 2 sirens on the truck. The guys cranked one on the back so hard, they burnt the bearings out. And Australians coming toward me, they got out of my way in a hurry. They went into a ditch. The MPs came after me with 45s, but they only had their hands on them. I found out what I was up to. There was an LCVP waiting for me to board it with my dock pump and truck. And we went out to the ship. Everything worked out pretty good. Just poured water. And another time, down in the hold of a ship. All their pumps were blocked up with wood chips and one thing. So they lowered me down with my dock pump. And I don't know how deep the water was down there, but if I ever fell off, I did it. So that's why they use these young guys, because they don't know what they're doing, but they're willing to try. So overall, I had a good time, and I had 2 brothers out there at the same time. Bob in the Army, Bill in the Marines. Bill, he was on the invasion of Guadalacanal. I found out where he was and got leave, flew up to see him. And that was great. So then when he came ashore there before Peleliu, I'd be down there with a Jeep, take him back to my outfit, and liberate some food like a case of fruit cocktail. And the bakers would make me a pie, take it out to the ship with my brother. That was worthwhile, because those guys had it. But we had it real good. And then in December of '44, my mother was dying, so they brought us home, 3 of us. So we got home, I got home on my dad's birthday, but I couldn't send him a telegram wishing him a happy birthday. There was a war on, they told me. So we made it home, and the 3 of us, Army, Navy, and Marines, were out with that dad when he was the biggest man you ever saw. And he really got praised. But after that, I got out, got married, and I'm still married to the same gal after 61 and a half years. So that's not too bad. So I got to work in a paper mill, worked there for 34 years, retired, moved down here to Florida, joined the Osceola Veterans Council. I've been at that for about 15, 16 years, serving as a rifleman for funerals and such. And now I don't stand too close to an open grave. since the funeral director wanted to know how old I was, when I told him, he said, "Not much sense of you going home, is there?" So things are going along good now, and we got the good life. Yeah. So that's about all I have. I think I love it here in Florida, and I'm going to stay. So, well, I have a picture here. This was me coming out of boot camp. And then this was when I was overseas. This was our fire department crew. I wound up to be assistant chief. And then we come back riding the old Lion down there at St. Augustine. That's me on the back. So, well, I don't know what else to say. That's about it for now. Okay?